Today we're going to take a quick look at the iT30Pro brought to you by Godox. This is a little mini flash and they did send it over for me to check out and make this video. So let's take a look what comes in the box. So first of all, you do get the little mini flash here. I'll show you that more in a second. And you also get this diffuser that comes in the box. Now, I almost confused this for packaging and almost threw it away. But if it's not in the box, just reach out to Godox and they'll shoot you another one over. No problem at all. They'll ship it out to you. So this is rechargeable, so it does come with a charge cable. It'll fit in any of those little charge bricks you got, and it just plugs in right there with USB-C. Also comes with a nice little lens cover, so this is a little lens protector and the wet and dry wipes to be able to clean that up. And then it does come with a little carry satchel if you want to use that. It also comes with a little protective thing here that covers this up when you're not using it, so that just slides on there. Just like so, if you're not using it and storing it, so you want to hold on to that. But this is really simple to use. This is for the Sony, and I love this size of it. It's very small, and I'm a beginner photographer. I do several, obviously video, but when it comes to photography and flash, I'm pretty new. So this is going to be the beginner's perspective. So let's just power this on, and this. You just power it on, scroll it over, and then you get a touch screen. So you can either do touch screen or you can use this little scroll wheel either way. So that's what that kind of looks like on the inside. You jump into the menu, and you'll see this does have TTL, so that means through the lens. So this is actually going to work with your camera to get the best exposure at the time of hitting that shutter button. And this is also not just a flash, but a controller for other Godox flashes, wireless flashes as well. So if you do have some of those, they are probably compatible with this, which I thought was really neat. So you jump into the other menu here. You do have a trigger distance, a photo cell, a TCM, standby, your standby power, your screen standby, screen brightness, all your different settings there that you can check out, the version of it, and if there's any new firmware updates, you can get those as well. Here on the side, this is kind of cool. If I flip this up and down, you can see here this has a internal diffuser. So once again, you're going to get that internal diffuser, and then you're going to get this external one as well. And then you get the user manual. But this thing is super cool. Now, once again, I'm using this on my Sony ZV-E10, and I'm a beginner photographer. So basically all I did was put this on, so I can just put it right here in this little flash cold shoe, because the Sony ZV-E10 does not come with a flash. And then I just hooked it in, and then I just pushed the shutter button, and you can see there it flashes. So it did perfect for what I wanted it to do. Obviously, you can go in, you can tweak different settings, you can tweak different ISO, your f-stop, all those fun things to get a better photo. And I did a little bit of tweaking, but I really just wanted to pull it out of the box as a beginner and just snap some pictures and see what would happen. So I ended up taking these two, and this one on the left is without a flash, and then the one on the right is with the iT30Pro S. And the one on the right, you can see just way more highlights, and you can look at there in the background, even with that little tripod. And this is in a low light setting in my office, so you can see that back and forth between the with flash and without flash, which I think is pretty cool. So another thing I like about it, once again, from a beginner perspective, I just put on my camera, I just push the little shutter button here, and it snaps and flashes and takes the picture. If I go back and look at the picture, I kind of get those old school, like, just point and click camera style of photography, which I personally think is really cool. I like it, and this reminds me kind of those disposable cameras, if you will. So if you're not a professional photographer, and maybe you're working on your skill set, you can still get some pretty cool shots with this. And like I said, I mostly do video and have not really messed with the photography stuff, and partly because I didn't have a flash, didn't really understand all the manual settings of manual flashes. But where this has that TTL, like through the lens, it once again, it's more like an automatic flash, which I was pretty impressed with. So, and I think that's why my pictures turn out so cool right out of the box. So anyway, from a beginner's perspective, who knows very little about all different types of flashes, this one came right out of the box, and I put it on, took a picture, and I was like, okay, I can see the big difference. So I hope this gives you a good perspective, a good idea what comes in the box and how it works.